The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield before. He slides through. He tags Richard.
Last week in Martinsville, 2017 kicked off with a bang, and it might be a new year, but J.R. Shepherd continues to be the hottest driver on the circuit after his 5th win in 7 races. The Shepherd looks to take the herd to a 6th win in 8 races tonight as the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series is at the Oxford Plains Speedway for Race 2 of Season 1, powered by the Bootleg Racing League, live on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing channel. Good evening and welcome to the Outlaw 100. I'm Chris Scallon. Alongside me is the short track expert himself, Sean Ambrose. Joe Peak is behind the scenes telling me word for word literally what to say. And Dougie Beard is on his 5th cup of hot chocolate in the last hour in working the cameras as always. Now, if you remember last week, we were in the season opener at Martinsville and 16 drivers took the green, led by Mike Holloway, and he would lead all the way until lap 63 when the Shepherd himself, JR, would drive from mid-pack to the front and take the lead, and after a late race caution, hold off Holloway in a 3-lap shootout to score the win in Martinsville, his 5th in the last 7 Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series races. And as I mentioned, Sean Ambrose joining me in the booth. Sean, tonight we head to the north, to the state of Maine, at Oxford Plains. This track, very interesting. It has its own characteristics. Tell us a little bit about this short track.
Well, they've been racing here for a long time, Chris. Opened in 1950 here in Oxford, Maine. Tom Mayberry opened the track. Yes, Mayberry RFD. 3/8 mile track, 4 turns, no wall, 9 degrees of banking. Now, I say there's no wall. When we take a ride around in the GSRC SK Modified here in just a moment, you'll see what I'm talking about. For all of you watching tonight for the first time here at Oxford Plains, one of the more interesting things in these turns, there is a lack of presence of any wall. So lots of yard sale space, beach space out there, lots of runoff room. But I will tell you this, where there is a wall, it comes up quick. And if you get off it, it's going to be real tricky. Let's take a ride around real quick in that SK Modified here from GSRC and take a look at Oxford Plains Speedway.
Hello, I'm James Merhula in the Global Sim Racing Channel Modified. I'm going to take you for a lap around the Oxford Plains Speedway. This is a tricky little 3/8 mile speedway. Something that's going to be very interesting here is how the track drives. You never really are going straight here. You just turn a little bit less when you get onto the straightaways. You're also going to have that curb down there on the bottom, just looking to get the car upset as well. And look, we don't have outside retaining walls out here either, so even though that the wall won't be as much of a danger, you do not want to go flying over that embankment at a high rate of speed. Keeping the car low and trying to get a good run off of the corners and try and duck down below your competition will be key to try and making up positions here. But we might see a good chrome bumper. And those are your laps around the Oxford Plains Speedway.
And there is a lap around Oxford Plains Speedway. Chris has caught up with a man making his season debut tonight. Mike Allen wasn't feeling so hot last week, but he's back with us tonight, and Chris caught up with him.
Yeah, Mike Allen joins me tonight in the number 59 car. And Mike, good to see you back on the track this week. I know you missed last week at Martinsville, which I know you never like to miss a race, as anybody never really does. But talk about your feelings being back on the track 2017 here at Oxford Plains.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. I've been a little under the weather for the last week and hated to miss last week, but feeling better tonight.
Well, talk about the track out there. We know the tire build, this track, it can definitely put some rubber down and make it very slick. What are you feeling out there so far?
The car seems to feel pretty good. The street stock was real loose, and but the truck setup was real good, and the modified feels pretty good so far.
Yeah, I definitely think the truck setup was good for you. Saw top 5 finish out of you just a little bit ago. That's got to make you feel good and have a little confidence going into tonight.
Yeah, modified is not my favorite car, and a lot of top-notch drivers in this division, but I'm going to do the best I can, see how many spots I can make up.
Well, Mike, we hope you're feeling better. We hope you get better and continue to run well, and we hope to see you out here on the track, and we wish you the best. And who knows, as we always say, maybe we'll talk to you tonight in the top 3.
Yeah, you never know. And I just want to thank you guys for doing a good job, and thank Chris and Lawrence Towing for sponsoring the series, and thank Matt and Lowell for the job that they do.
And we appreciate your time as always. Mike Allen joining us here at trackside as he gets ready for his start tonight, his debut at Oxford Plains. And of course, that interview brought to you by Virtual Grip Network. It's a blog devoted to news from the world of iRacing at virtualgrip.net. You can stay up to date with what's happening at iRacing and keep up with the top World Championship Series, including the Block Pond GT Series, the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series, and the World Championship Grand Prix Series. Sean, one race in the books, and obviously one race doesn't define a season, but it definitely had some interesting twists and turns at the paperclip last week at Martinsville. And as you'll see by the points, one name's familiar up top, and you'll notice another name's not too familiar up there. That's kind of missing from the list.
That's right. Tough week for Matt LaVenture last week. So's J.R. Shepard leading the points now here, and Mike Holloway just behind him. John Holcomb in third, Donnie Moore fourth, and Lowell Jewell in the top five to head into race 2 here this week. And I'll tell you what, that was a great race. Again, tough break for LaVenture last week. And, I do so that he has shown up and has made it here this evening. So hopefully he can avoid some of those technical issues he had then. But as we finish up with the Lawrence Towing point standings, let's talk about the details of the race tonight. We have a lot of viewers here on iRacing Live and on YouTube here for the first time. They run the SK Modified. This is not the Tour Modified. This is the SK Modified. A little bit down on the horsepower, a little bit shorter wheelbase, but a very, very fast machine. Fixed setup. This is the iRacing fixed setup. Now we are inverting the top 10 from last week, everyone. And that means our winner from last week, J.R. Shepard, going to be starting all the way at the back. Going to have to work his way up through the field. He wants to hang on to that points championship here in race 2. It'll be 100 laps tonight, 37.5 miles. You get one fast repair, but if you have to bring that car into the pits, you can't take tires. Now, you will start off with 100% fuel, and you won't need any additional fuel in this race. And as far as incidents go, there is no cap on that. Everything goes to the IRT, the review team, if there's any real trouble out there on track. Now, restarts will be double file. Lap cars to the back end. Yes, there is the lucky dog. There will be wave arounds. Race control administers that. The weather tonight, that's the iRacing dynamic weather. I will tell you that it is clear on track and 89 degrees on the track. A little bit of wind tonight, about 10 miles an hour. But it's a beautiful day out here on the track. It's a great evening here in the sim universe of iRacing. And Chris, I'll tell you what, buddy, I am just about ready to go. I don't know about you.
Oh, I'm ready, man. I've been ready since we got down to New Smyrna at the end of last season. Unfortunately, wasn't there in Martinsville, and I do want to send out a shout out to Soup last week. I always enjoy watching you two do a race together, especially when I'm out. It's like when I send a message to the boss and say, hey man, I can't make it this week, I'm just like, I only have to worry about these two, Soup and Crackers, as you guys call yourselves. You guys, great job last week, and I enjoyed watching that broadcast. I should mention Chip Deckard. He'll be the guy who will start on the pole this evening, and I believe that'll be his first career pole due to the inversion, so congratulations to him on that. But as we look at the previous winner, Sean, I should point out there's one thing that's not so much in common on this list, and that's repeat winners.
Yeah, Donnie Moore, certainly a repeat winner, but hasn't done it in a long time. Lowell Jewell picked up a win here way back in the day there in the spring of 2015, and David Bodiola, driver's not around anymore, but he got himself a win. But the lack of repeat drivers here, alarming. Who knows? Maybe Donnie Moore make it 3 tonight, pick up a little momentum here in this season. I'd look for Lowell Jewell, maybe even. He's sitting there 5th in points, going to be starting right there in the middle of the field. Who knows? Maybe he could find a little magic here tonight and be a repeat winner.
He does have 2 straight top 5s going into this race. And you mentioned it's been 2.5 years since we've had a repeat winner here at Oxford Plains. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit, Mr. Ambrose. Are we going to see a different winner tonight?
Boy, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I don't know. JR is, boy, he's looking awful strong. He's going to have to be starting a little bit back in the field to get to the front. But this is a track where you can pick up position. So I like the momentum he's got. I don't know if we're going to see I don't know. We'll see. I'm feeling strong about JR right now. I got to be honest with you.
Well, it's going to be a fun race to see. JR, who is, by the way, the fastest car in practice, so he's definitely got that 98 car in tip-top shape as he did at the end of last season. And, of course, going into tonight as he goes for that 6th win in 8 races. Now, Sean, I mentioned JR a little bit, and that kind of leads us into your keys for tonight's race. What's it going to take to get to victory lane at Oxford Plains?
You know, the high groove here tonight, I think it'll work. I think you can battle on the outside. We saw a little bit of that in the street stocks earlier and a little bit of that in the trucks. If you can stay faithful to that over 100 laps, you might be able to win some of those battles. But I also think it works both ways. I think low and high, it's going to be good. If you can keep it stuck down there right, just to the edge of that little piece of concrete that sticks up there, that little berm, if you can keep it stuck to just the edge of that, down low and battle down there all night and not leave the door open, getting in or off these turns, I think you've got a shot to really work well. You see who's having trouble here on screen getting off the turn. That's going to be something to watch all night. You got to be very, very careful with the throttle getting off here, Chris.
Yeah, that's going to be very big tonight, and we got to watch that. The throttle control tonight, the bounce back. We should mention Matt LaVenture. He's going to start tail end Charlie, second fastest in practice. Can he get from 17th to first? Is it possible for him to pull that off? And then, of course, you mentioned J.R. Shepard. Can he keep the momentum going on his part? So we've got a very entertaining race coming up about 2 minutes. Before we grid, I should mention, if you're a chatter like I am and Sean is, you can always chat with us on iRacing Live or on our YouTube channel, the Global Sim Racing channel. All you do is ask the question. I got the page up here where I can see questions, or even Sean can, and we'll answer them to you if you have any questions about short track racing or about how Sean's practicing for the 24-hour race next week, or or even how he's going to try to run tomorrow morning in the Roar before. You can ask those questions also tonight. So a lot of things going on. And we should mention next week, Sean, we're not going to be here because we're going to be in Daytona, all of us, running the 24-hour race, which hope our bodies are ready.
Yeah, now let me just be clear about one thing. I don't have the gumption to drive with the pros there at Daytona in the big cars. I'm gonna give it a shot in the Mazda tomorrow morning, but now I'll be on the box for most of those 24 hours next weekend, and I can't wait for our GSRC Turn 2 Motorsports machine to take the track, which one of our drivers is going to be the great Joe Peak there, twisting and tweaking the dials for us tonight. So looking forward to that. A lot of guys from Bootleg. We're talking about ourselves. A huge contingent from BRL heading into the 24 next weekend, and Lowell gave the guys off so they could all get out there and compete. And I believe Lowell himself going to be running around in I want to say
McLaren.
An Audi.
I believe it's a McLaren.
I don't know if he's running a McLaren.
Well, one of them are. I heard that word mentioned earlier, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And the only thing I hope we don't hear Sean say to Joe next week while he's in the car is, Joe, you can go wide open in turn 4. I put a matching set of tires on the car. That would be good if so. But either way, that's coming up next week. That should be a lot of fun. We will be broadcasting, by the way, the 6 hours of that race coming up next weekend. So you can check that out. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, 2:30 will be the time for that. So you can check that on the Global Sim Racing channel. So as we are about to grid, literally right now, the cars are going to wrap up practice, and we will grid and take a look at the starting lineup for tonight's race. And it should be Chip Dicker, to finish 10th last week at the Martinsville Speedway, going to be our pole sitter for this evening. Again, the inverted field from 10 to 1. So if you finished 10th last week, you start on the pole this week, and vice versa. Dickert will start alongside Matt Shanowski.
All right, then we got Jeff Sharp on the inside of row 2. Matt Hoos going to start 4th, just outside of him.
The boss himself, Lowell Jewell, he'll start inside Donnie Moore.
All right, John Holcomb on row 4 on the inside there. Mike Holloway. Watch out for Holloway this week, too, starting there in 8th.
Holloway's been very impressive. We haven't talked about him much so far this evening. J.R. Shepard, last week's winner in Martinsville. He's won 5 of the last 7. He will start alongside Tim Shanowski.
All right, then we're going to go on to row 6, and we're going to see Kurt Smith starting in 11th, and Ernie Brown going to start 12th.
Well, we're talking about bad luck. You got the man who finished dead last week and unlucky 13 starting spot tonight, Matt LaVenture and Mike Allen.
All right, then we're going to go to Brian Barden, starting 15th on the inside of row 8. Chris Eads from Lawrence towing himself, starting in 16th. And then Ralph Connor going to round out this 17-car field back there in row 9. Oh, I can't wait to get this thing started. And a note to our race fans, the Mustang is back and on point, leading the field around here on this oval.
Wow, I just noticed that. Good point there, Sean. And I should mention, too, last Monday night, Clemson winning the football national championship. Any resemblance on that pole-sitting car tonight? The 04 Clemson Tiger Mobile going to be leading them to the green. Maybe that's an omen tonight. Could Chip Dickert pull the upset here at Oxford Plains? Either way, the pace car is going to hang at that left here any minute, as long as he doesn't curb stomp, which he does right there. Pace car is off. Dickert's going to lead him to the green, and it's race 2 at Oxford Plains. Big restart for him. Right away, that bottom line, Jeff Sharp going to fill in. Matt Shanowski there on the outside. Lowell Jewell, he's inside of Matt Hoos.
Boy, Brian Barden got out of the way, off the throttle, let everybody go by. Drops all the way to the back of the field.
Barden, a newcomer, making his debut this evening. Shanowski going to find a gap. Almost had a little bit of a check up there off turn 4 last time by around Lowell Jewell there in the 5 car. You got the 69, John Holcomb, kind of climbing the curve. 2 by 2 here mid-pack. This is about 6th place on back.
Yeah, look at Holloway and Donnie Moore working up top there. Oh, Donnie gets it down. Shuts the door on Lowell Jewell. Holloway still trying to hang on up top.
Mike Holloway in a place you do not want to be right now, and he's getting a little bit up the track there, and that's never safe when you get up there in the marbles, but... Oh, a little squeeze job there. Ernie Brown has no room. He made room. There's still
Ernie's
contact.
around.
He's around.
Contact with him and Shanowski.
Chris Eads also in it. Shanowski and Ernie Brown going to bring out a first caution. A little more taking than giving, unfortunately, it looks like.
And, of course, LaVenture, you see the black and green car down there on the replay. He gets caught up in it, too.
Now the question is, how much does he have? How much damage? He's going to have a little bit.
Boy, he did a good job of getting on the binders, though.
Wow, how about the 9 getting through there? Ralph Connor.
Yeah, let's take a look on board.
And you're right on board here, the Stanley car of Ralph Connor. He's up there in that high side, just kind of running his own lane. You're going to see the smoke show right there in front, and he has to go on the binders. Wow.
Hold on.
The first caution out.
You know, I hate that for Chip Dickert, man. What a start he got off to. He was really, really stretching the legs on that SK early.
Looking like Deshaun Watson out there in that 04 car, but needless to say, what an experience this is for him, because he's one that, you know, we talk about him, he's always 10th to 15th or so most of these races. He's out here running in the front, getting some experience up there, and that's a confidence booster. If he can get up here and race hard and fight, it's possible. Anything can happen.
Well, the car really looked hooked up. He was, again, he was in his own zone there when we got started. Was not quite pulling away, but he got such a great start, a jump on the start from the field, that he was really able to keep that distance from him. And I'll tell you what, we'll see about what he does here on the restart this time. Going to have Jeff Sharp starting there up on the outside, and as we saw in that start of the race, Chris, boy, outside's not really where you want to be early. That groove's going to have to kind of get worked in.
Oh, I agree, and that's where you'll see the rubber get laid down here, but we got to get laps down first as we go to lap 10, and we get the green flag back out. Dickert with a good restart, along with Matt Hoos, that pedigree car on the inside, and going to go for second. And Sharp, and then he slides up the track a little bit. It's going to give Donnie Moore the chase for third. Make that the third position. I'll get the numbers right sooner or later. He's going to get it, and Hoos going to look underneath for the lead, not able to get it yet. This is some wild stuff. Look back here. Should we mention 9th and 10th? The two, we can call them brothers if you want to, running with each other. Shepard and LaVentures. We got a battle for the lead. Who's looking underneath?
Yeah, LaVenture actually picked up several spots, come around on the outside, was able to shut the door.
Oh, Donnie Moore into Dickert. A big pile up in 4. 1, 2, 3, at least 8 cars.
That involved most of the field there. Got caught up in that.
Mike Holloway on his top.
Wow.
Ooh, that's just
Pick it up
tight
on the
quarter
replay.
racing.
Yeah. They're
I
both
don't-
fighting for that real estate. Everybody has to check up behind him.
You know what
J.R.
that-
Shepard caught in that.
You know what that reminds me of, Sean? Last week in Martinsville, you had the incident in turn 3. I forget the 2 drivers that were involved, but it's like Moore had every right to have his nose there, but was it too soon type of thing? I think it's a racing deal. I mean, the room's there.
Yeah, well, we'll pick it up here on the replay again, take another look at it. See the contact there, but
I think
everybody behind him has nowhere to go.
I think it's safe to ask who wasn't involved in that.
Well,
You see Dickert up high, and we're on board here with Donnie Moore. And Dickert's going to try to arc it in here and get us to the bottom. The room's there. Moore's there. It's just 2 people fighting for the same real estate.
Chip is off to such a great start. I feel like I almost jinxed the poor guy.
Oh, you guys at them already.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm looking here, I want to say the only 3 cars not damaged in that wreck are Matt Hoos, Jeff Sharp, and John Holcomb. The rest of these cars, you notice, have a little bit of damage on them, as Brian Barton's going to get the wave around.
Yeah, and some of these guys are just going to ride on. Tell you what, don't look now, but Matt LaVenture has picked up 6 spots.
When he was in that wreck, too, he spun around and was able to get back out there and up to 7th. So 13th to 7th in 15 laps ain't bad. J.R. Shepard up to 6th. And Lowell Jules got some damage on that 5 car in the nose. He's in 5th. And you see the rest of your standings there. Mike Allen up to 8th. He started towards the back. Ralph Connor in the 10th position with Ernie Brown as they're doubled up. We'll get back to the restart after the second caution. Matt Hoos, your second leader of the night. Does he have the pedigree to go to victory lane? We'll find out as we get the green flag. Lap 17. And Holcomb's on the curve.
Ooh.
Curb stomped.
Ooh. Yeah, he messed up there, and Lowell Jewell almost got into him. Here comes LaVenture down on the inside, but they're battling up top. Sean Shadowski, J.R. Shepard.
Now, Sean, you're a short track expert. How much that damage on Lowell Jewell, as he gets door checked by the 00, how much that damage on the 5 going to hurt him?
I don't think it's going to hurt him too much if it's just the horn. If it's just the horn that's bent up, he'll be fine. If he's got any any suspension damage, that'll be tricky, but it doesn't look like it. Lowell's on the hammer and hanging out down on the inside, looking good.
Hey, who else is looking good? John Holcomb at 69, the Lawrence Towing Mobile, running right there in the 2nd spot. Holcomb ran up front a lot this last season, finishing top 5 in points. He's looking at the victory lane. He got a little loose. Here comes Lowell Jewell. Here comes LaVenture.
Where did he come from? Got around J.R. Shepard, and there he is, LaVenture fighting for 3rd, leaving Lowell hanging up top.
He has gained
Lowell
10
gonna have
spots.
to get him behind.
He's gained 10 spots in 21 laps.
Here comes J.R. Shepard now.
And somebody turned on the pot, and the water is boiling. The cream is rising to the top, as they say.
Boy, JR in a real tight battle with Lowell, but now he gets past him. Lowell going to have to settle back into 5th.
Hey, what, the car on the outside, Jeff Sharp, he restarted up there in the 2nd position. He is all the way back here to, the 8th position? 7th position, I should say. It's out there, he's singing the old famous song, "You picked a fine time to leave me low line."
Yeah, well, now he's got to get back in there. He's got an opportunity to get in there in front of Shinaski, but
yes, Shinaski got
keeps
loose.
Keeps riding her up top there. Now he finally settles in.
Yeah, Shinaski got a little loose. He caught the curve off 4, and that allowed the 49 to get in, but everybody single file all the way back.
Oh, we
Barton
got a battle.
and Chris.
We got a battle up front, though. It's brewing. LaVenture all over the bumper of Holcomb.
Now, Sean, you remember what I've always said about short track racing, right? If there's no gap between you and 8th place, guess who's holding the lineup?
Yeah, someone's holding up the line.
Hate to say it, it's the leader maybe here. But Holcomb's looking for somewhere to go. LaVenture's looking for somewhere to go. Shepherd, all these guys here.
Oh, Matt Hoos is just not going to give that thing away. Trust me. That,
no, absolutely.
The rear bumper of that SK is very wide right now. It's about 20 feet wide.
Should mention Chris Eads did take his car behind the wall. Looks like he is on pit road, so he'll be the 17th place finisher as of right now in tonight's race. So unfortunate break there for the man who, well, helped with this league when it's all over. Lawrence Towing be a part of it now their 4th season, I believe, here with the series. Everybody gets jacked up here.
Yeah, Shepherd with big trouble there. They're off the turn, and Lowell Jewell got a little piece of him. Got the car just a little squirrely. Yeah, Matt Hoos is up front digging right now, and John Holcomb and Matt LaVenture are going to have a real hard time finding an opening to get through Hoos. They may have to make one.
Yeah, you want to know how tight this pack is, Sean? I'm out from 1st down to 13th, 3.6 second separation. Not to mention 1st to 8th is 1.9 seconds. They're all right here together. That's some close competition. That's what makes this Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series so fun to watch. Lowell Jewell slipping up a little bit. Mike Allen trying to make the move in the 59 car. And look up front. Holcomb is all over Hoos. He is all over Hoos like salt in a snowstorm.
Well, the top 4 starting to maybe try and separate itself just a little bit from the rest of the field. Got a little gap there back to 5th. Lowell Jewell under attack from Mike Allen, who's up 8 spots. Mike having a solid run here early to start this race.
Yeah, Mike's doing a great job tonight. We talked to him in the interview. He said he's been under the weather a little bit. Good to see him back on the track and feeling better. You know what? How about back here? Let's go back to 12th. Donnie Moore on the move. On the inside of Ernie Brown, he'll go up to the 11th position. Moore trying to make that comeback. The only man to repeat here at the Oxford Plains Speedway back-to-back. Donnie Moore trying to get his way back through the field. He knows this track very well, especially up here in this northeast area where he's very familiar with.
Yeah, Donnie having to take that faster priority. Oh boy, Matt Hoos having trouble. I'm sorry, not Matt Hoos, but Matt Shanoski just in front of Ralph Connor. Connor, who was making his way up through the field, had to really back out of it. Everybody checked up behind him.
Getting a good green flag run here, and LaVenture under attack. Shepherd's going to try to highline.
Gotta take a look up there.
He's going to the Kyle Larson school here. Yeah, we got some kind of, looks like, connection issues going on, but hopefully everything keeps up. I know iRacing, unfortunately, is having some issues the last couple of days with the, I know they've had their Roar to the 24 last night, had a little bit, but hopefully this keeps going for us in a positive way. So if you're watching this right now, please don't think your computer's messing up. It's not. But Hoos is leading. You got Holcomb there in 2nd. You got LaVenture up there in 3rd. You got Shepherd in 4th. They've pulled away. They got about a half second or so on Lowell Jewell. He's got Mike Allen there behind him. Everybody pretty much single file, Sean.
Yeah, and I'm just hoping the guys can battle through this and hopefully John Holcomb just dropped.
Oh, we lost Holcomb.
Boy. Yeah, we did. We're going to start losing guys here, I'm afraid.
We lost Brian Barden.
Yeah. Well, this is one of those technical glitches that sometimes we just can't overcome, fans. I'm sure we'll get it all sorted out. Hopefully most of these guys can still struggle through this.
It's just tough to see. And matter of fact, LaVenture, he's coming up here for the lead now. He's taking advantage. Holcomb, fell out, so that let him come up to the back of Matt Hoos. And now LaVenture's going to go for the lead here.
Boy, this is huge. I know it's only race 2, but every point mattering and being such a big deal.
It does, but you know what? If there's any kind of medicine for Shepard, look where he's at, right behind LaVenture. So he's like, you know what? You can gain all the points you want to. I'm right here behind you. You're not going to gain much as you ride with Shepard. And it looks like everything's starting to stabilize out. You still feel bad for the two victims, especially Holcomb, who was running up into second position.
Boy, we really feel for him. That's just got to be maddening. The top three, though, have really been able to break away from the rest of the field. Lowell Jewell in a fierce battle back here with Mike Allen.
Wow, yeah.
Allen's got the position on the inside. Lowell stuck up top.
Needs
Lowell
to try to cut down.
Yeah, Lowell really tracking out wide and opening a door for the number 49 there at Jeff Sharp, looking to make a move on Lowell. Lowell going to shut the door on him.
Now, the one thing we should point out about this track, Sean, is the outside of the track is, as you mentioned, the walls that there are here. You don't want to come close to those things because the groove actually falls off over on the outside part of the track. It's kind of like an embankment. You fall down off of it.
Yeah, you don't want to fall off the shelf. That's what I call it. And,
there you go.
Yeah, you fall off that shelf, it just sucks you right up into the wall.
Back here, Ralph Connor almost making a move on Shinowski on the high side, but he's going to lose spots and momentum after that.
He did indeed, and now he's stuck up there up top. Tim Shinowski down there on the inside. Oh, Shinowski getting a little bit of that curve. Donnie Moore right behind him.
Of course, Connor right now is like, oh, great, I'm in a Shinowski sandwich. And Lowell Jewell under attack again up here.
Yeah, Lowell trying to make that top groove work. So
Sharp.
far, not bad, but there goes Sharp.
That'll give Sharp the 5th position. Will Lowell fall down there to 6th? Meanwhile, up front, LaVenture almost getting a move in. Connor spun, apparently, I'm hearing.
He did.
He's on pit road, yeah.
Ralph Connor spun, but he was out of the racing groove, down on the apron. Green flag stays out. Everybody's still battling here.
The heat is on.
Matt Shinowski, the next car to battle with Lowell Jewell. Yeah,
a little bit of contact there as you're seeing. Yeah, LaVenture and who's making contact? Should mention Barton has gotten back on the track, so good for him. Holcomb's gotten back in the server. He's not back on track yet, but good to see these guys, not give up and get back out there and say, hey, you know what? For the pride and spirit of this league and the competition, get on back out there and just go run, You can't control those kind of things.
Yeah, we got to pick those points back up. Barton having trouble. He peeled off the track again.
Meanwhile, the door's open. Oh, LaVenture almost had a move, and somebody's got... I thought somebody had some engine issues I was seeing. I saw smoke out there, but maybe I'm just dreaming.
Oh, Donnie Moore just picking up a position on Tim Shinowski. Makes a move on the inside. That's a battle there for up to 8 there for Donnie, making his way back to the field just in front of him.
Yep, right in front of him. Matt Shinowski inside a little Jewell for 7. Make that 6th.
Donnie going to try and take it too.
Donnie taking advantage of these points. Holcomb joining the track back on track, I should say.
Boy, Lowell Jewell.
Oh, who's got loose on 4? Oh, I thought he was going to give it up.
Yeah, let's go back up to that right now, because really that is a battle developing.
And I was not rhyming on purpose there. That just came out of me. LaVenture looking to keep that streak going. Him and Shepard pretty much since, I believe it was the 2nd or 3rd race last season, have won every race. And that night it was Matt Shinowski who went to victory lane. As caution is out 3rd time, it is somewhere. Oh, Lowell Jewell is throwing the caution, so apparently admins have thrown the caution here. Not sure if this is a competition caution or something.
Well, you know what? I suspect they might be throwing that caution here. Maybe give these guys a chance to get back on the lead lap with everybody that got bounced.
Well, that's going to be kind of hard to do, and though I respect it, but you got 13 and 16 laps down, respectively, of these guys.
Yeah, wow, I didn't realize it was actually so much for a couple of those. kind of odd that we got a caution flag there. I'm sure we'll get an explanation from Lowell at some point.
And these guys, and before anybody, see Lowell's on the mic here, let's see what he says. They're going to try to get those two back on the lead lap as close as they can, is what Lowell is saying here. So, hey, applaud to him. And the one thing we've all talked about is how well organized this league is. The Bootleg Racing League, Lowell does a great job. It's a well-oiled machine, as they say. He does a great job with organizing this. So if you're watching on iRacing Live and on the Global Sim Racing channel on YouTube, just know that Lowell's does everything they can. The Bootleg Racing League does everything they can in the interest of fairness to get the right results and stuff. And that's what they're going to do here to try to get Barden and Holcomb on the lead lap and do the best they can here. But Sean, needless to say, it's a good chance for us to take a break here for ourselves. Man, take a breath real quick.
Yeah, that was intense. I mean, the top three, it just seemed like J.R. Shepard was just lying in wait back there in third place, waiting for those two to hook up. LaVenture and Hoos making it exciting. But they had really started to separate themselves from the field. This is going to get everybody back into it here. This is going to take a couple, maybe a minute or two to get this sorted out, Chris.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit here because basically they're just going to keep waving these guys around, and I'm sure they'll keep throwing yellow. So we might be under caution here for just a couple minutes. Well, real quickly, we'll run through the field here while this is going on. But your leader's Matt Hoos. He has led so far 54 out of the 65 laps. Again, he's led pretty much since lap number 12. Matt LaVenture running in second. J.R. Shepard third. Mike Allen, the guy we talked to, he is fourth, and then Jeff Sharp, he is in the fifth position. Matt Shanowski, Donnie Moore with a good comeback. Tim Shanowski, Ernie Brown, and Kurt Smith going to be your top 10. Sean, you got Lowell Jewell there 11th, Ralph Connor, and then you got the guys who have suffered the issues tonight. Chip Dickert, the pole sitter, unfortunately had some issues. You had Mike Holloway, who's been in trouble a little bit. He's 14th, and Pace Car is going to pull off. So apparently we're not going to delay the restart here. 33 to go.
They caught us.
Hoos is loose again, and that time it did it on purpose.
Ooh, look at the venture go up top there, really digging.
Ooh, one car sliding high in the mid-pack there. He's still loose. He's going to catch it. Not sure who that was. And Shepard is up to second.
Boy, for all of LaVenture's effort there on the start, J.R. Shepard gets down in there, and he's all over the bumper of Hoos, throwing the horn to him here a little bit.
Should mention that car was Kurt Smith, but he's got it under control back there, so all is well. As Shepard has moved up to second. First battle you're going to see is back at about the 7th position. Shanowski under attack. You got Ernie Brown looking to the inside. That 2x2 here. Ernie Brown, you got Matt Shanowski, you got also Ralph Connor in there, and Lowell Jewell, the 5, who's been struggling with that damage.
Donnie Moore, up to 5th place, has conquered his demons. The early trouble he had, he's back in the top 5, trying to take down Jeff Sharp, get up into this fight with the top 3.
Oh, Shepard getting a bumper to Hoos.
The chrome horn making an appearance.
Now, Shepard's not one that will put the horn to you on purpose, so you know that was just one of those timing deals. You're right on board with the 98. Trying to go 2 for 2 on the season. He wants that 3rd championship this season is what he wants too.
Boy, JR really filling up the mirror here of Matt Hoos's SK Modified. Matt doing a really good job of playing defense, though, right now, Chris.
They're all doing a great job. The top 6 on top of another right here. All 6 within 1 second of each other. As I mentioned, that Donnie Moore dives in for 4th.
Open the door just a little bit. You crack it open. Donnie Moore going to slip on in there.
You can easily see the top 3, arguably the top 3 that have run in this series the last year are running 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right now. LaVenture, Shepard, Donnie Moore. And put in there Mike Allen, who's up to 5th. So a great job for him tonight.
And Allen just getting by Jeff Sharp. That was a close one. They were nerf bar to nerf bar on that pass.
Shepard is doing everything he can to get around Matt Hoos. Shepard not quite able to put the hook around Hoos's car for the herd.
Shepard was right into him there, coming off of turn 4.
His pack's so tight together, you can't really do the high-low move right now because, well, eventually it'll pounce.
Yeah, you really
Oh,
can't.
Shepard on the curve.
You really can't risk opening the door at all. Especially with Donnie Moore in this mix now. I mean, anything is possible here with this top 5. Mike Allen really not struggling at all. Really looking strong.
Yeah, Mike doing a great job there in the 5th position.
I think he's liking this track a little bit right now.
He finished top 10 in the truck race just a little bit ago. That race won by J.R. Shepard, by the way. So Shepard looking to go 2 for 3 tonight. Oh, who's getting a little high there going into the corner? Shepard's like, don't do that, boy.
Really good car control there by Hoos, though, to keep it down there.
Now, Matt Hoos last week finished 6th. As caution is out for the 4th time, he finished 6th at Martinsville, as I was starting to say. Caution. Oh, the 9 car, Ralph Connor, is off in turn 2 over by the wall.
Yeah, let's check that on the replay here. Not sure what happened with Connor. See if we can pick it up. Ooh, and I think
Kurt
Ralph
Smith.
I think Ralph got a little bit of help with that one, unfortunately.
And going to back it into the wall. Mike Holloway going to get the wave around at 16 to go, but caution number 4 on the track. And a big checkup just now. Ralph Connor has gotten the back of somebody here as they were all checking up. For some reason they were all stopping.
All kinds of
there
craziness.
There was a bunch of contact. Yeah, something went on here. But we'll watch the replay here. We'll show you the other part.
Yeah, well, we'll have to
see Connor catching up here with the pack. That's what we're seeing right here. Connor's catching up. You're going to see everybody check up here in front. And just like a typical interstate, the 5th car becomes a chain reactor.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
I guess so. Boy, no luck for him tonight at all.
So 14 laps to go. Go ahead.
Our top 5 is nothing but movers and shakers.
Well, you know, let's talk about the guys who didn't want to see that caution. J.R. Shepard, Donnie Moore, Jeff Sharp. You get where I'm going here?
Yeah.
The outside line. Do not want to see this caution right now. I don't think Matt Hoos did either.
Tell you what, JR battled really well on that last restart, though. I'm not going to count him out, but boy, we're not going to have a lot left to get this thing done. When we do get restarted, it's going to be a sprint to the checkers.
I should mention that John Holcomb's getting wave arounds again, so they're trying to get him back on the lead lap. I see Lowell Jewell has actually pulled his car off the track, so I don't know if he's just trying to help out with the admitting here, but just trying to get those guys back on after the issues that were earlier. But the pace car going to be pulling off. We're 1 to go to green here. We're going to go green with 11 laps to go. It's Matt Hoos, J.R. Shepard, Matt LaVenture, Donnie Moore, Mike Allen, your top 5. You got Jeff Sharp, Tim Shanowski, Matt Shanowski, Ernie Brown, and Kurt Smith, your top 10. Again, you got to look at that 10 spot, too. Who will be the pole sitter in 2 weeks when we go racing again? Green flag back out. Hoos is on it. And Shepard's going to get to the bottom.
Boy, what a start by Shepard.
Moore down to 4th. He did a good job getting down.
Yeah, and LaVenture was not going to let Donnie Moore get in there. He shut the door on him. Matt, who's stuck on an inside line.
Ooh, Shepard with a good runoff, too.
Matt Hoos got to feel like he's at Talladega right now. He's just going to keep it planted down there on
Put it
that
down
inside.
the curve. Oh, trouble.
JR
Connor's
Shepard gets
spinning.
into him.
Turn one.
Layeth the horn.
No caution, though. He's off the track. He's taking it to pit road, so Connor's off. A frustrating day for him.
Matt Hoos still your leader. JR Shepard keeping it close. So's Matt LaVenture. LaVenture going to let those two slug it out.
So last season, as we watch Shepard here, I should mention this, Sean. Last season was an 11-race schedule for the Bootleg Racing League. Normally it's 10, I believe, on the schedule. Tonight is the 10th race since somebody other than LaVenture and Shepard went to victory lane. So almost a full season is tonight the night the streak ends.
Boy, it's going to be
We're
close.
gonna find out 5
It's gonna
laps.
be real close. JR really digging. Oh, Matt was just a little bit off on that turn. No, I think that car is slowing down just a bit. JR looks a little bit faster.
Like I said earlier, if you're holding up a line of 6, guess what? You're holding them up. Shepard's going to do everything clean. I've told you before, he's one of the cleanest drivers I've ever watched. Look at that, riding from the tailgate. The back end, I guess. It's not a truck. I'm so used to watching trucks.
Looking right through the wicker there. JR just bearing down on him.
Hoos, 2 more laps. Shepard's on the curve.
Oh,
To
there
the
he goes.
inside. He makes the move. He gave him room. Oh, LaVenture's loose. That right there might be this. Wow. and Hoos is loose again, and LaVenture going for second as the white flag's out. JR Shepard makes the move. And Hoos gets turned out of 3.
Donnie
Meanwhile,
Moore gets into
Shepard
Matt
off
Hoos.
of 4. 2 for 2 for Shepard. He wins at Oxford Plains as Hoos is spun.
And look who's going to finish third. Mike Allen going to
Wow.
take a podium finish.
JR Shepard, 6 out of 8 races, has gone to victory lane. And for the 10th straight race, LaVenture and Shepard have won. One of them two have gone to victory lane. And we're going to go take a deep breath, as you should too if you're watching the race on iRacing Live or on the Global Sim Racing channel. We'll get the podium together and we'll talk to them and go over our post-race recap next on the Global Sim Racing channel. Yeah, sure, the NFL playoffs may be going on right now, but we had our own little version of drama this evening at the Oxford Plains Speedway, where J.R. Shepherd makes the pass on Matt Hoos with 2 laps to go. It makes it 2 for 2 on the season as he collects the win in the Outlaw 100 here at Oxford Plains. Shepherd, your winner. Matt LaVenture started 13th, works his way to 2nd. Mike Allen, we talked to him before the race and said, hey, you never know, we might talk to you on the podium tonight. There he is in the 3rd position. Jeff Sharp, Tim Shanowski, Matt Shanowski, Ernie Brown, Donnie Moore, Chip Dickert, and Kurt Smith going to be your top 10, Sean.
Yeah, Kurt Smith getting a top 10, going to be your pole setter in 2 weeks. Matt, who's going to finish outside that top 10. Tough ending to this race for him in 11th. Mike Holloway going to finish 12th. Ralph Connor going to wind up 13th for all his bad luck this evening. John Holcomb, an unfortunate victim of the quality drop we had with some drivers getting bounced. He'll finish 14th. Brian Barden going to wind up 15th. Lowell Jewell, he was a runner early and then just got caught in the trouble, man, and Lowell's going to finish 16th. Chris Eads going to round out the field. He had trouble early, couldn't recover, going to finish 17th tonight for Chris Eads.
What a great race this was this evening as we're just getting the guys in here to chat. As we'll go on down here to Victory Lane as I've caught up with the man who I think tonight just said, yeah, this is my championship tonight, boys, in my championship season. So J.R. Shepherd, a statement tonight. J.R., for the last couple of seasons, Sean and I have been doing this, and we've said that the curve is not your friend here. Tonight you made the curve your friend. How did you make that pass?
Yeah, that's really crazy, guys. It's a very, very tight track. The bottom groove's definitely where you want to be, and just the way the car was handling, it was extremely loose getting in, and would be a bit tight getting off. So you could hit that curb and loosen your car up on the throttle, and it'd really power forward. But man, that pass on Hoos at the end of the race, he just got extremely loose through the corner, and that's the only reason why I was able to catch him. And I was hitting the curb to try to stay off of him and gave him just a little tap there. So that's definitely not what I want to do, but got the win tonight.
How big was that restart getting down to the bottom? I know you had been nervous with less than 10 to go being on the high side.
Yeah, definitely, Chris. That I definitely thought that Matt LaVenture had the upper leg on that restart for sure, and I was doing everything I could to stay with Hoos as we accelerated, and I looked back and saw that there was a hole, so I did everything I could to get down there to it.
Well, great job this evening. It was fun watching that race, especially you coming back from the position you did to win this thing. But I do want to, as you know, I don't really have much of a life myself. I always find weird stats, and I'm going to throw one at you here about you. This is your 6th win in last 8 races.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that at all, especially with the way that Matt LaVenture's been running. He's extremely hard to catch and fast, so he gives us all something to shoot for each and every week.
Well, you definitely have stepped up your game, and you've made yourself noticed for the championship this season. You get the week off, so you're the only winner so far in 2017. I know it's going to make you feel good.
Yeah, it does. But there's a lot of great guys out here, everybody that's in this race. And, I mean, we saw John Holcomb tonight, finished in the top 3 last week. He was there again, and connection issues just got to us. So maybe we'll see those guys back up front. A lot of great competitors out here, so it'll be a good season.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to those last races of the season as we get there, but we'll take the week off. And congratulations, winner of the Outlaw 100 here at Oxford Plains, J.R. Shepherd. Nice job.
Thanks, guys. Hey, give a shout out to the Bootleg Racing League and to Matt Hoos and for Low Jewel for everything that they do. Really love racing here, and those guys make it happen for us. So thanks, guys, and thanks for what you guys do in the broadcast booth. Absolutely,
JR. Appreciate your time as always. J.R. Shepherd in Victory Lane, your winner tonight. As Sean, you've caught up with a guy who definitely had a big bounce back from last week.
Matt, you picked up a lot of spots tonight. Matt LaVenture here celebrating top 3 finish. And Matt, that was a tough race for you, buddy.
Yeah, that was a lot of contact and a lot of tight racing. That was a lot of fun. Great job to JR. And yeah, that was enjoyable and unenjoyable all at the same time.
What did you think about that move JR put there on Matt, opening the door for you to slide into second?
I think he did a great job. Matt Hoos was having issues with his tires. He had heated them up pretty bad. We had the luxury of laying back a little bit, me and JR, And that last restart, I get a little push from behind, and right as I get off to keep off the car in front of me, they took off. So when JR dove in, I figured if he can do it, he's a better man than me, because it was tough to pass and tough to set a pass up with the car being tied off.
Now, I saw you had a couple of those restarts. You got stuck up top, but you really seemed to get an advantage on those restarts up top, and was really fast off the start and able to get the car in position back down there on the inside.
Yeah, if everybody crammed into the bottom and tried to get down there, then it left a little rolling room on the top and a little bit of extra speed. So it was really kind of rolling the dice going out there and trying to stay out there until the hole opened up. But some guys it worked and some guys it didn't. We got lucky tonight and got some good inside restarts, except for when we needed to. I couldn't pull the restart off, but great job to JR, and we'll try and get him next week.
Yes, sir. You'll be back in this hunt before long, I'm sure, and we wish you the best. And you're going to be running with anybody next weekend in the 24?
There's a couple cranky teams going. I'm not sure if I'm going to be in one. This new schedule makes it even. I got to literally stop talking to you and go to work here in a second. But hopefully we'll find a team to get into and can put some good hours together and make it work if I can get this work schedule to pan out.
All right, Matt. Well, our best to you. We'll let you go. That is Matt LaVenture, driver the number 18 Krankenstein SK Modified. He picks up a podium finish. But I'll tell you what, we're going to talk to a guy again this evening, and Mike Allen. Chris is caught up with him, and they're going to celebrate that podium finish together.
Yeah, I got Mike Allen with us, who finished third. Mike, we talked before the race. I know you've been under the weather, and you talked about how cool it would be to get a good finish tonight. You did so. A third-place run for you. I know you're happy about that.
Yeah, third's like a win for me, because Matt and JR, they just dominate this series, and I got a little lucky there at the end when Donnie and Matt got together, but I just dove low and made it through.
You drove a pretty patient race tonight, too, because you had some action going on around you. Started back in the back, and you almost followed the 18 car up there, be the safe way to put it. But you did what you had to do, keep the nose clean, and got the good top three finish.
Yeah, well, that was my intention. I started right behind Matt, and I thought if he had opened the hole, I'd just kind of follow him, and he kind of got away from it. But we had a good race, and turned out pretty good.
Now, Mike, are we going to see you the rest of the season, obviously, barring how you're feeling and stuff?
Oh, yeah, I plan on running all three series the rest of the season. Nothing happens.
Well, hopefully we'll be watching you climb that championship point board, and who knows, maybe competing for the championship by the end of the year. But we do congratulate you on the top three, and we hope you continue to feel better.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
And Mike Allen, top three finish in the Dale-mobile, as I call it, the Goodrich car there. SK Modified finishing in the third position this evening. So, Sean, final thoughts? That's a pretty wild finish to a pretty fun race.
Well, final thoughts, really. Matt LaVenture gets himself back into this points battle after some bad luck last week, pulling off a second-place finish, coming from deep in the field to do it. Mike Allen right there with him, also coming from deep in the field. Mike's now going to be in this hunt. So, there's, a good battle developing here early. Really a shame for John Holcomb to have the luck he did tonight. Man, that car, the Lawrence Towing SK Modified, was hooked up early, Chris. And it was certainly unfortunate for him to get bounced out. But we wish him the best when we come back in 2 weeks. And I want to wish my best to all the guys from the BRL that are running in the 24 next week. Who knows? Maybe we'll see some of you guys on track.
Yeah, who knows? Which I do warn you in advance. I'm sorry in advance if I do happen to be on track with any of you guys, but I do second what Sean says with that said. So I should mention real quickly tonight, 4 cautions for 18 laps, 2 lead changes. J.R. Shepard leading 2 laps tonight. The final 2 that count, Matt Hoos led 87 out of the 100 laps, and Chip Dickert leading 11 laps. Those were your 3 leaders tonight. So just a reminder, the Saturday lineup for the Bootleg Racing League is... of course, 7 o'clock, the Street Stock Series. The Pro Trucks, that was tonight won by J.R. Shepard. He won that race, and that's at 8 o'clock. And then, of course, the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series each and every Saturday evening. Now, the Dirt Series, that's in the works. The Lawrence Towing Late Model Dirt Series, they just released some news that they're starting through their first major stages to get into dirt on. So hopefully spring of 2017 for that. So look for the Lawrence Towing Late Model Dirt Series potentially in the next couple of months. That should be pretty exciting too. Also want to thank the title sponsors I mentioned. Lawrence Towing, they service Indianapolis, Indiana, and the neighborhood communities. And no soup, I am not going to do it. If you find yourself in need of a tow, Lawrence Towing is the way to go. And also Virtual Grip Network. It's a blog devoted to news from the world of iRacing at virtualgrip.net. You can stay up to date with what's happening on iRacing and keep up with the top World Championship Series, including the Block One GT Series, the NASCAR Peak Candy Free Series, and the World Championship Grand Prix Series. Virtual Grip Network and iRacing news and reports at virtualgrip.net and facebook.com/virtualgrip.
All right, and Chris, I'm going to correct you real quick. It was actually Matt Hoos that won in the trucks this evening.
Oh.
And in the street stocks just before, it was John Holcomb. So Holcomb did walk away with a win tonight. But
nice job.
I want to thank the Bootleg Racing League for organizing the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. For more series information about the Bootleg Racing League, find them at facebook.com/Bootleg Racing League. And of course, at their wonderful website, bootlegracingleague.com.
And I should mention that I've already fired my stat guy. Thank you. Thanks to the companies, equipment, and software that you see on the screen. Of course, right there, you can use. We use them to broadcast, and we thank them very much for being a part of it.
All right, and the original music you've heard all the time here on this broadcast is thanks to Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde. Right there on the screen, that's how you contact him for information about all GSRC events. Go to globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at /Global Sim Racing Channel, Chris.
And of course, next week, as we've said, we're off. As we'll all be down in Daytona for the 24 Hours of Daytona, the iRacing edition, which, by the way, our 6-12, January 21st, see it on the screen right there, 2:30 Eastern Time, you'll hear us broadcasting the top split of that race. That will be, again, at 2:30, and no, you won't see me there because I doubt I'll be in top split, and we wish those guys the best. And everyone else from, obviously, the Bootleg Racing League, and Sean, we wish you guys the best with Turn 2, and, of course, GSRC channel, and I'll be on my own team, and we'll look to have fun. But again, the next race for this series, the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series, 2 weeks. We'll go check out Jack Baruch's place there at the Stafford Motor Speedway on January 28th. Until then, race clean, race hard, and I'll see you on the track.